Welcome back to a smallholding weekend or week or whatever it ends up being. As always, it is a thoroughly miserable ass day today outside. We have been getting on with all of the jobs that we've been putting off, such as houseworky type jobs and just, the basic everyday stuff. We couldn't get away from it, had to get those done this morning, so we are starting quite late from a video perspective today. Just checking the time, it is 2:10 this afternoon. That is ridiculously late. However, this is what I'm going to be getting on with. Do you remember when we harvested this together? Wild garlic. I got about 680 grams. That has just been sat in the fridge looking at me and judging me ever since we picked it. It's literally only been a couple of days, so it was on the last end of the last video that we did that. I'm going to make some wild garlic salt. I'm literally taking it in batches. There's maybe a third or a quarter here. I'm going to pop it in the blender. We're going to use, there was 687 grams of wild garlic, I think. I'm going to use maybe 800 or 900 grams of salt in total, and I'm just going to distribute it what I think is evenly between the two, blend it down, put it back in the bowl, blend it down for the next batch, and then we'll add it all together at the end. Don't have my tripod with me, and if I go and get it, I'll end up getting distracted and do something else. So let me show you the final version. It's not going so well. I forgot to put the blender stick in. So nothing's working yet. I tried, but it's failed. Well, I am very pleased that I didn't have my tripod, because you would have seen wild garlic and salt making a complete fool out of me in the blender. So I started off in the big blender and we got nowhere. So I quickly moved over to the smaller food processor attachment and started to get somewhere a little bit more quickly, but still very slowly. The instructions I had said, don't let it turn into a sort of a puree. Well, that's exactly what we've got. To me, it doesn't matter though, because it's all salt. We're going to put it in the dehydrator to dry, and then I'm going to blitz it again. So it should be absolutely fine. So this is what we've got left, which is basically, I can't remember how much is, oh my God, it's quite heavy actually. I can't see. Anyway, it's a good amount. So it's almost a 1-to-1, just a bit more salt than wild garlic for the preservation, because I wanted the really strong flavour to come through. So when I've got all this done, we'll get it weighed at the end. I'm going to pop it in the dehydrator now, get tidied up, because for what I thought was going to be a really quick job, at the risk of sounding like Stephen, didn't turn out to be a really quick job, and I made a right old mess.
Right, well, the rain's finally given for a few hours, so we're going to get the pigs bed topped back up, give them some greens, and then we're off back into the bar to do some more inside jobs. Let's do this.
Well, this spinach bed is finally coming to an end of its useful life. It's from last year, so it's 2025 sown spinach. And we're going to we'll leave it in, not to flour necessarily, but for the pigs, there's just some greens. Now, spinach has obviously got oxalic acid in it, so I don't want to feed too much to them, so just about one each, given that we've got 4. I'm just going to pick 4 and drop this in, and hopefully stop them nibbling on Stephen while he's putting the straw in. Can I just say, folks, he's got trainers on and it is ridiculously slippy. The pigs have totally ignored what he's doing, and I've taken bets with him that he's not going to get in without one getting out. What this man will do not to lose a bet.
No problem.
Yeah, except it's getting in your straw, Stephen. Be careful, it's super slippy. We should have come down in our wellies. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Don't think he knows he's being followed. Goodness me, they're starting to churn all of this up. This was all, all of this was quite thick with grass. Don't you like your spinach, Mrs. even? These 3, I bet you, are going to think that they're getting missing out on something. He's got to get back yet.
Hello there, big pig. will get in here with a wheelbarrow and pull up these big stones that they're digging up and get rid of them, but not today.
Look at the ground.
Good pigs. There's a good pig. There's a good pig.
That's why I'm still videoing. Oh my goodness, you trainers. Okay, you're a braver man than I am, woman. I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have gone in thinking, they do. They literally want to come out every time I go in. Can you let me back over, please? Thanks. Thank you. Well, now Stephen has survived topping the pig bedding up, we're just quickly making a pit stop in the vegetable plot. As you can see, we've got an abundance of rhubarb. It goes all the way behind me. Every year this grows absolutely ginormous. It's a fully established 4 or 5 plants. There's 4 that were here when we moved in, and every year it just grows absolutely massive. I always end up getting a photo of the rhubarb leaves with me stood next to it in a really surprised face. We've also got another rhubarb bed over there, which I'm going to show you in just a moment. But what we have done this year, we started last year, is got in touch with the local greengrocers and said to him, would you like to have some to put into the vegetable boxes that you send out around the local area? And he said, absolutely, yes, please. So from next week, we're going to start dropping some off for him to be able to sell. What we will do is take the leaves off, compost them at our own compost, and just give him the vegetable stalks. If you leave the leaves on, probably end up drying out, and we don't want that for anybody. And the other thing that I'm going to be doing with it is turning it into a whole year's worth of barbecue sauce. We've done this before. We use the rhubarbs and the gooseberries, and it turns out fantastically each time. Really enjoyed by the family for that, so we'll be getting on with that this weekend. And also Stephen is going to pick some from the other bed that I've just said that we'll show you, and he's got something he's going to be doing with it. No guesses for what, because he does it every year. So
right, so while Tracy's going to make a year's worth of supply of barbecue sauce out of that bed, I'm going to make 2 days worth supply of rhubarb and ginger gin from this bed. So we transplanted this a couple of years ago from one of the beds when we changed all the veg plot around. So we didn't pick anything off this last year, so this will be the first pick of it. So I don't need a great deal to make the gin. So I'll just get the biggest, sweetest looking stalks off it. I need about 1.6 kilos, so it shouldn't take a lot. It won't strip much off the plant, so it'll then, we won't touch any more off this plant this year.
can be a little bit heavy-handed, can't you, dear? See, it's as if I know. So this bed actually, have you done it again? What? It's as if I just know you too well. So this bed, like Stephen says, we put this in, was it last year, the year before? Must have been the year before if we didn't pick it last year. And this bed, it wasn't here, there was 3 long beds, and we just thought this would be a lot nicer if it had a bed at the back and we can just bung a load of rhubarb in it because we needed to move it anyway. However, it's really not full enough of manure or compost or anything, so we kind of treat this not too well in that we didn't top it up, and we prioritised the manure elsewhere. But I think this year we're hoping to have quite a lot of compost available because we've already got, everything's full, isn't it? We're going to have to make some more, I think.
That'll be enough, don't you?
I certainly do, yeah.
Right.
Did the plant survive?
Yeah. Let's get to the cooking.
This is why it's not allowed in the garden.
Let's go.
So now we've got the rhubarb for Stephen's recipe at least. He's going to show you that in just a second. I'm literally spreading out this garlic and salt paste onto, can't find my dehydrator liners typically, put them away somewhere safe as always. So I'm just putting them on baking paper on the mesh. So the mesh of the actual dehydrator is just kind of a holy mesh. And I've put the baking paper on top of it, and that's what I'm spreading the wild garlic onto, and then hopefully it'll circulate air just fine because the dehydrator silicone bits that I've got, they don't have holes in or anything like that, so I'm sure that it'll be absolutely fine. I'm going to remind myself what temperature to put this on, but it's going to be really low. I'm thinking like 45 degrees centigrade, something like that. Trying to spread it as thin as possible, shove it in the dehydrator. I'll check on it in a couple of hours, and then I'll maybe go from there, mix it around a little bit, but we shall see. It's quite thick because the salt that I used was rock salt, and that's really thick. It hasn't sort of broken down too much, so we shall see. But either way, it'll all get used, and I've no idea how much this will make in terms of how long it'll last, so I will wait. I'm curious when it's done.
Right, so while Tracy's been getting on with that and getting that in the dehydrator, I've been preparing all the ingredients for the first flavoured gin of the year. We do a few different types of gins and vodkas over the year with the cherries and the raspberries and strawberries, but while the rhubarb's out, we're going to do rhubarb. We did it last year, it was awesome, but we're going to just do a bit of a different one this year. We're going to do rhubarb and ginger, so we're doing double what the recipe is. So we've got 1.6 kilos of chopped rhubarb, 700 grams of sugar, 2 tablespoons of finely chopped ginger, 2 bottles of gin, just the cheapest gin you can get, and 2 slices of lemon zest. And that's all it is. So we're just going to put everything in a 3 litre Kilner jar, shut the lid, give it a shake, leave it in the back room for a week and shake it every day just till the sugar gets all absorbed, and then leave it for another 2 weeks and it'll be ready to go. It's not all going to go in, is it?
Okay, I think we need
Might have to split it
2.
between 2.
It's certainly not going to go in with the gin and the sugar. You've got no chance.
Right. We'll split that between 2 jars. I'll just go and wash another jar out and we'll start again.
This is the bit people edit out.
Right, so take 2. So I've halved all the ingredients out now, so it's just as if we were doing 1 batch, but we're doing 2. So instead of 700 grams, I've got 2 lots of 350 grams of sugar. So they'll just go in the tops. And then just 1 lemon zest in each. And then 1 tablespoon of finely chopped ginger in each. And then you just add the special ingredients. With your last drop. Just fasten them up, give them a shake. Like I say, we'll just put them in the back room in the dark, and we'll come in, shake them once a day for a week, and then leave them for another couple of weeks to infuse all the rhubarb and the ginger, and then we'll put them in bottles and get them up on the shelf. Now I'm going to get out of here, now I've done my job, and leave Tracy do her bit. It's too deep, that wants to come out. Yeah, you should. Yeah. Right, shove some in. Is that where you want? Come on, front.
It's a beautiful day, thank goodness, because yesterday, my goodness me, what a miserable day, and it really does affect your mood. I'm walking through our field to go and see Dexter because he has smashed through the fence onto the riverbank. So Stephen's gone to get some tools. Coming back to, I was going to go in the shed and get the next bits ready for the shed. But here we are instead. To be honest, he can probably stay in there because he can eat this grass down. You can see where he's got in. He must have tripped over the wire because there's a wire that runs along. It's basically just above his knee height. Yeah, you happy with yourself? Smashed the top one. And Could he have fit through there? Not sure. Not sure if that's what you've done, Dexter. You must have done. Is that what you did? Is that what you did? Honestly. Are you on your own? You haven't brought any friends in, have you? Huh? It's okay. This is really steep, this riverbank. There is actually a fence at the bottom there that Stephen put up, a livestock fence, because our neighbour's cattle go across the back there, and this river, which is the Skern, actually drops down really, really low so the cattle can just walk in it. And then they end up on our riverbank, and we would lose you, mister. Son. All right, son. Hang on, see if he wants to come back. All right, okay. Don't go past me, but darling, yeah, I know how you feel. Yeah. Grass looks greener. Right. He's going to trip over that wire because you can't see it.
He got in, so he'll get out and we go in this way. Come on, Dopey. Go on. Come on, you know your way through.
Good lad. Oh. Shit. Is that fence at the other end?
Yeah, it's fine.
Are you sure? This is where I'd stay out of it, because I'm like, just leave him. He'll come back when he's ready. Pardon? He's talking about an apple tree. I'm like, oh my goodness, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 magpies. 1 for Sorrow, 2 for Joy, 3 for a girl, 4 for boy, 5 for Silver. I don't know how that can help in this situation. This is what I'll just keep talking to you guys until he's either back or Stephen says that we're leaving him. Because I don't want Stephen to either get knocked over, fall over down, that was the pony, fall over down the riverbank and injure himself, or I can hear him. He's coming, isn't he? I'm not going to look. What's your coping method? How things have changed. Like 10 years ago, I would have been all over this. But I just worry now if, like, fall over, break a leg, vet bill, A&E, you know.
It's not going to be a standoff between you and me, is it? You don't want to jump over there either, Dopey. Way up. What?
Can you hear Stephen? Oh, bloody hell. You come to see me. Come on, darling. Good lad, good lad. Come on, Dexy. Come on. Oh, pardon my French.
Dumbass.
Like I said, nothing to worry about. Just get on with it. Hey, anyway, time to give the lambs their medicine that we treat preventatively every year before they go out on the bus. So as you can see, well, first of all, they're going to have a feed, which is why they're all so excited. Mind you, they think we're going to feed them every time we come in. This one here is the one, the all white face one is the one that hasn't been very well, or wasn't very well on the last video. And touch wood, seems to be doing absolutely fine. This is the dopey one that we showed you, with the long ears, the long teeth, the ill-fitting legs, and the tufts on his face. Absolutely perfect. So the vet made us up a dose of this treatment when we went in to get the one that's not been very well. He thinks it's milk. Yeah, when we went to get the injections for this one, the vet made us up this treatment and said, leave it for a week, keep it in the fridge and just give it to them in a week's time, assuming everyone's okay. Nice. Everyone's saying we should keep you. We don't want that.
Milk. Yum.
So they're all due a feed, like Grace said, so they think that it's milk. So they're actually suckling on it, which will help. They will get the feed after this.
It's milk.
It doesn't taste like milk.
You don't need a fly though. Don't put it on your mouth. Ooh.
That's dried out to be about 900 grams. I have put it back through the blender and I just put it in this jar to store it whilst I was blending it because the blender didn't take that much. I needed one of those, you know, like the protein shaker type blenders because the other ones wouldn't touch it. So I'm going to pop it back on here and dry just for another hour or so. And then hopefully that will be completely dry and I need to figure out how long 900 grams will last. But I think we're going to do another batch anyway.
Right, so I've spent most of the day today getting all this cleaned out. We've had a good spring clean in the tack room, and when I was doing it, we've been having a few bits of rodent activity. So I thought we'd try this year, just keeping everything off the floor as much as we can. I've had everything out. I've blocked all the entrances that I've seen where they've come in. They've dug a few holes here and there, but I've blocked all them up. So we've kept all the floor, and a few suggestions off you viewers about making certain traps and that. So most of the activity that we seem to find is in here and in the stable next door. So my solution for this room is to clear everything off the floor so we can actually see where they're getting in if they ever start coming back in again, and we can see if they're leaving droppings anywhere. And in the other room, I'll show you what we've come up with in there. So if you're watching our other videos, we don't like to use poison around here. We have other methods of getting rid of the rats and the rodents, but we try not to use poison. So one of the suggestions we had was build some sort of trap to catch them. So my dad came out today. He came up with another idea, so we cued the 18 music, went in my workshop, and this is what we've come up with. So we've just got a big tub, which is like, got a load of smooth sides on, so if any drop in, they can't come out. I've put some peanut butter on the ramp at the back here for them to walk up with some chicken feed stuck to it, and then hopefully, if they walk up, they go into on here, and they just fall in like that, and then they get trapped in the bucket. That's the theory. I've seen it on a load of YouTube videos, but they always seem to use pet rats or pet mice, and they all just go in and they get trapped loads in the bottom. So I'm not expecting anything tonight because we seem, when we have a good clean out, we don't seem to have any rodent activity for a few nights. So we're going to leave this in here untouched for 3 nights till we check it. Well, I mean, we will check it every day, but I'm not expecting anything for at least 2 or 3 nights. But night 4, I'm expecting half a bucket full. So we'll come back then and see what we've got.
A bit sketchy, Stephen, dear. Jesus Christ. It's like you're worried first.
A little bit. The cat is them. I'm worried.
Have you got your ray?
Right, well, it's Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. Just getting finished off with Tracy's shed transformation, phase 2. So I've just put all the shelves in to her requirements. She's requested certain heights, so if anything doesn't fit, that's not on my fault. So yeah, we've just got all these shelves in. We've got all the seats in the other night. So best thing about it so far, it's cost us absolutely nothing. These are just made out of old fencing that I had lying around. This was just lying around in the garage. This is just made out of an old bit of worktop which I had lying around. The framing's all an old door which I just ripped into pieces, and the outside is just cladded in old flooring. So at the minute, the best bit about it is it's cost us nought. So all we've got to do now is get a shelf in there and get it all tidied and get some cushions. I think you want some shelves on the back there, don't you, as well?
I would like.
Some shelves on the back there as well. But we're going to get out of here because the robins are back and forward and I've been in here a bit too long tonight. They are getting ready to fledge by the looks of it. I've got some beauty video tonight which Tracy will put on, but we don't want to upset them much more than we already have. Right, well, we're back around to Saturday and the chicks have finally fledged. So we haven't seen any kicking around the garden, but Tracy's seen a couple in the barn there. So thankfully all 5 survived by the looks of it and they've all successfully fledged. So now I've got that out, I can continue on with Tracy's shed. So I've just got the shelves to do. I've been in and out, like you've seen, through the week, doing bits and bobs. But now they've gone, I can get in, finish these shelves off. I'm going to do that now. I started them yesterday when I came home from work. So I've finished them off. It'll only take about an hour. And then we've got some busy work to be getting on with in the veg plot. I'll take you around and show what we're doing there because we're in for some, by the looks of it, 2 beautiful days. So we've got quite a lot to do. So I'll take you around and show you what we're hopefully going to be getting on with. Right, the first job I'm hoping to tackle today and get it all done is this bed here behind us. So while we've been here, we've replaced and added all the beds pretty much in the whole veg plot. There's only 2 that we haven't done. This is one of them, and we've got one over there which I'll show you in a minute. So it's about 5 metres by 5 metres. So we've been out this morning and got some, we could only get 4.8 by 4.8. So that's what it's going to be. And we're going to raise it up 6 inches. And then the plan is clear it all out. There's bits of potatoes still in there from last year. We're going to dig them up and then they'll get boiled up for the pigs. There's a load of Jerusalem artichokes under this bit section here which just run rogue. So hopefully we'll get as many of them up as we can. They'll do the same, boiled up for the pigs. And the plan is, we're going to take all that down at the back there, all that compost heap, and drag all that into the bed. We'll rotivate it all in, and like I say, we're going to raise all the edges 6 inches, so that path will be a little bit wider, that path will be a little bit wider. So hopefully by the end of the day, this will be all nice and done and ready to plant in. So the next bed that we've never touched since we've moved in, as you can tell, is this one. It's gone way too far now, everything's ruined and rotten on it. Nothing got planted in it last year, as you can see. So we're going to totally redo this, but not as a bed. So we're acquiring another greenhouse. It's 6'4" by, I don't know if it's 8 foot or 10 foot. So it'll fit perfect widthways on here. So it'll come probably down to somewhere like this. So we're going to give the greenhouse over to Grace and probably put a little garden in front of it or something like that. But before we do any of that, we're going to have to clear it all first and see what we're looking at underneath. Might not get around to this one today, but we've got 2 beautiful days hopefully. So we'll get as much done as we can. Right, well that's me done in Tracy's shed for the minute. I've got the shelves made. It's actually cost us £10 up to now because I had to buy this piece of wood on the sides because I didn't have enough to cut down to make the frame. So it's nice and solid. Just had these lying about on these composite boards. They're nice and solid, so there's no bend in them. She can put as much as she likes on, as much weight as she likes. So now I just need to tidy all this up so I can get in the back there before I make them other shelves. But I've got plenty to be doing before she does that, so I'm going to get on with that bed that I showed you earlier on. Right, well that's 2 hours work crammed down into 28 seconds of time lapse. If only we could do it that quick in real life. So we've got it where pretty much we want it. So these are the new sides which are going to go on. I think I'm just going to put these on the inside of that original one there. Get it all, put some posts in here, screw it to that, the next one along, and then I'm going to pull all the old wood out and I'll just drag all this gravel down. We will be getting some more gravel, so that'll top that up. And then we'll take the top layer of the freshest stuff off that, put it in the other compost bins over there, and then we'll just drag all that in and run over it again with the tiller, till it all in. And then I think if we've got enough membrane, we're going to membrane the whole thing this year and just plant through it to try and kill everything off, because I don't fancy doing that again next year. So we'll see where we get to and keep you posted. Right, well that's it for tonight. We're calling it a day. So we've membraned all the inside of the wood. We've got the three ends all secured in. They're all level at either side anyway. We're not bothered about them being spirit level across the top. So you've got a good 6 inches there, and it worked out pretty well because it goes the end of them end here, and we've got a big comfrey bush in there, so that can stay. And then once we drag all that out, put another piece in there, we'll just have a nice bit of space at the back for whatever. We purposely put this compost heap here anyway because with the bush being there, not a lot of light and moisture get to the back there, so we're not really fussed about it if it's a wider path, but no doubt we'll find something to put there. But like I say, that's it for tonight. Back out in the morning, make an early start and get it finished with. Right, well it's the next morning. It's a bit of a later start this morning. It's about 10 to 10. I was hoping to come out and it'd all be done for me, but unfortunately not. So there's no putting it off. We'll get it finished and get it out of the way. Well, we finally got it all shifted. Got the back piece of the wood on, so that's your solid bed. It's like pretty much 5 by 5 metres. But we were just going to leave the back bit. But it created where the compost bay actually was. The soil at the bottom was absolutely beautiful, like this stuff here. So it's a shame to let it go to waste. So we've had these honeyberry bushes in these tubs for the last few years. We only bought them as like 6-inch pots. So we've just took one out to see the size of it. Tracy thought they need ericaceous compost, but it turns out they actually don't. So I think what we're going to do is, rather than waste the beautiful soil at the back, we're going to dig down and put them both in there. The birds normally get the berries before we do, so they've just been stood over there in the back of the plot out the way. So now they're here. Well, if I can get them dug in and we can keep an eye on them, we might get something off them this year. Right, well that's it. Finally done for this section, thank God. We did do a few bits extra which were unplanned, but it's finally finished. Got a half a bucket of Jerusalem artichoke roots out for the pigs. There's a million more in there, but we're never going to get them all out, so we'll just have to pull them up as and when they come. I did say we might put some membrane on it, but the soil's that good and there's loads of worms and bugs and everything in it that I don't want to tiller it over again. I don't want to be killing any bugs and good stuff that's in the soil, so I might just leave it and plant in it as it is. But we'll just keep an eye on it if any weeds or anything out like that comes through. I didn't see many potatoes, old potatoes left in there, so I've got no problem about any of them coming through. But yeah, pretty pleased with it. Got these 2 honeyberry bushes in, so I've left quite a big gap between this one, give it room to grow. So I'll get them good watered in, and then we'll draw a line under this job. So I don't fancy doing any more donkey work over in that bed, so I might go and make Tracy a few shelves for a shed, let her get all that sorted and tidied up. But pretty happy with the way it came out and looking forward to see what we get out of it this year. Well, we're getting there now with Tracy's shed. I've just finished off her shelves there for her, which is already starting to fill up. So that's me clocking off for the weekend. I thought I'd get a lot more done than I did get done, but isn't that always the case? You always think you can do more than you can. So I'm just going to take this book, check up on the robins, see how they're doing, and I'm going to take a seat on Tracy's new acquired bistro set and enjoy a nice cold pint and sit and enjoy my work. So that's me for the weekend.